Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome! Today I've got the third and final member of the G1 Coneheads from Masterpiece Ultra, Dirge. So, box is the same as you expect with all your product shots and nice little trio shots of the group together, accessories, and all that good stuff. Nothing new or special on the box, so we'll get that out of the way. And there he is in his alt mode, comes packaged in alt mode as you expect from the Seekers. And let's get a look at him. So the only difference with this guy is his wings and the color scheme from the other two Masterpiece Ultra Jets. And I gotta say, right out of the box, the blue, the gray, the yellowish gold, very striking, right? I mean, to me, this is probably my favorite of the three, just because of the color scheme. The wings are really cool too. I mean, they got a little, it's almost like a metallic paint. Like, it looks glittery to me in some light. Very hard to tell on camera, and even in person, it's just the right angle and it looks a little glittery. And then you got a little darker gray on the die-cast pieces here, and then a lighter gray here, but the blue looks good, and from what I can tell, the lines are nice and crisp. I haven't noticed any overspray or any weirdness on this guy like I did on Ramjet, unfortunately. But he does look good. He fits the part. As you can see, the landing gear do work. He does roll. His cockpit opens as well. Again, it's all the same features and gimmicks we have with MP52 and all the associated KOs, including these three Coneheads. You know, these panels lift up, but there's not really much to see. And then you know, this is one thing. Is this thruster? This is as far out as it'll go. Won't come out all the way. Very, very, very stiff. You see? That's the difference. And I cannot pull this out far enough. So, thankfully it works for bot mode. It's just alt mode it looks a little weird in. But, you know, there we go. And let's take a look at accessories. So we get the same things we do with all the others. You get your stand, you know, the two pieces and this, fully adjustable. I've not tightened the screw on that yet, so I'm not sure how loose it is. You get the flight adapter, which, as with all the others, including the official MP52, you just pop it in right here, and there you go. And then you can stick it right on here, and there you go. It's a little loose out of the box. Come on, I'm gonna separate them. There we go. Not gonna leave them on the stand. Don't want to keep adjusting and readjusting my camera. Then you get three faces. Here is just like a straight face. Very, very dark gray with some red painted eyes. And the camera's not picking it up very well, is it? You can't really tell, but his eyes are like a ruby red. You can kind of see it there, but I'm sorry, my lighting setup is just not picking it up. But that's his straight face, and then you've got like a smirking face. You can see the left side of his mouth is open. Kind of a sneer. So I think it's because of how dark of a gray it is, and the camera's just not picking it up. But so you get these two, and then you get like a yelling face, which is currently installed. You do get his two null rays, which still transform as we expect. So there you go, and they have a little armature there, as well as, if I can get it out, there we go. No, come on. The handle, which has the tabs on the side, so if you want, he can hold it like a regular gun. Actually, I'll leave this folded up. Then we get two of the missile pods, just like we did with the others. I have some blue overspray in this one. See if the camera can pick it up. It's very, very light, and I noticed it when I was getting ready for this video, but I didn't notice it taken out of the box. When I put them side by side, you can tell there's a color difference with the bottom one. Yeah, blue overspray. And then you can stick this in there just like you can with the others once it's in that missile mode. I'm not going to push it in all the way because it is a tight fit. But you can do that. And then when you're doing it this way, you still have the side tabs, so you can tab it in underneath his wings. I'm going to get this out. There we go. And then finally, you get 2 of the thruster blast effects. And now, thruster will use the one that does fully extend. There's that. And then for the missiles, you've got the tabs right here on both sides. Just tab it in sideways. And there you go. Everything works on this guy that I can tell, other than that one thruster. So all the accessories are useful if you want to use them. Oh, and then of course you do have your instructions, which is the same like photocopied type that we got with the other ones. And also, let me get these out of the way. So also one other thing, I never tried this, so I never really just thought about it. But now that I have all 3 of them, so I can't take credit for this, for finding this. I saw this, God, I think I saw it on Facebook or something, and I don't remember who, but I didn't realize, and I should have in hindsight, you can combine these, and by combining these, you could have all 3 next to each other, and you can even, you know, slip them back or forward as you want, and then you can have all 3 of them flying together. I thought that was pretty cool. Like I said, I apologize. I don't remember where I saw the picture, so if there was a name attached to it, I cannot give credit to that person. But that's really cool. I'm sure a lot of you have already figured that out. If you have any of those Takara stands, I'm probably just the last person on Earth that figured that out. But, you know, it's cool. It's there if you want to do it. But, so anyway, that's it for his accessories. And real quick, I'll just do a couple small size comparisons. Here is thrust. Sorry, I just don't want to transform Ramjet because, you know, the quality on him is a little bit lower. But the team still looks good together. And, you know what to expect with the MP52 mold. You know, his wings are about the same as thrust in width. So again, you know what to expect when you compare that to the Deformation Space Seekers or the Official Seekers or anything like that. And then finally, again, even though we know, here he is with Takara Wheeljack. I haven't touched Wheeljack in a while, so I thought he'd be good for this size comparison. So with that, we'll get down to transformation, which is super easy, just like the other Takara bots. The only difference is the wings. So first thing, I will fold his landing gear up. And the only other thing about this guy is this landing gear, once it locks in, it's good. But once you get it on the other side of the thoop, it gets pretty loose. Doesn't really make a difference because it thoops in just fine for landing. And then it still folds up as it should, and it stays in there for bot mode. So, not a big deal. Okay, I'm going to raise my camera up. Alright, so, like I said, pretty simple transformation. If you've got the other MPU bots, then you pretty much know what to expect, right? So, separate these gold pieces from the front. Crack them at the hips. Get this out of the way. Extend his legs. And I'll show you better in bot mode, but I can tell you now, these do kind of get in the way of articulation. There we go. Legs extended, thruster pushed up all the way. Side panel out, foot down. Shin panel up, and close this back up. And I can tell you as well that the clearances here are much, much better than they were for Ramjet, you know. Thrust was also very good. there's, you know, Ramjet felt like certain things were going to break. And slide up on these kneecaps here. Ramjet felt like certain things were going to break, and this guy, I've not gotten that impression at all. Like, things are actually pretty good, stable, sturdy. There we go. His legs are halfway done. Now it's the wings. So we're going to untab the wings. Oh, it did it by itself, but fold this in. Yeah, fold over on itself. And what we're going to do here is we're going to articulate this backwards. This will come down, and it's got a small little tab. It'll just kind of tab into itself. I'm going to do the same on both sides, so I'll fold that in, untab this because it's got two tabs here, and then just bring it backwards. Oh, come on. This joint, there we go. It just didn't want to release, but there we go. I'll bring this down, tab it into itself, and then back here, you'll just bring these around. They are on double hinges, and they will tab in to themselves as well. There we go. So I find where, there we go. Good. And also, this point is very, very, very sharp, like just pushing on it. Ooh. So just be aware of that. Okay. And that's his legs done. I mean, you could just leave them like that if you wanted to. Get this hip skirt back in there. There we go. All right. So now we'll come up and we'll take care of his upper body. So I'm going to untab these, rotate them around, bring these up, bring this back, get the arms rotated up and out. And this bicep joint here, it should clip together, and then on mine, once it's clipped together, it's fairly stable. It's pretty good. It's better than Ramjet, because Ramjet I had the one that was super, super loose. So, and you can probably see the paint marks. We'll go over that in a minute, once I'm fully in robot mode. So we'll go ahead and fold these panels out. Make sure the back is straight, so you can get these past that tab in the center. Make sure they are all the way out. Okay, good. So now, come up here. This untabbed itself, but if it didn't for you, then go ahead and untab it. Go ahead and rotate it around now, just because I know I'm going to have to. Open up the canopy. Open up the nose cone, which is double jointed if the double joint wants to cooperate. Okay. And then rotate it around so the nose cone is on top of the cockpit. Should be looking something like that. Then you're going to split the cockpit. There we go. Fold the seat down. Rotate these two pieces up 90 degrees. Rotate the cockpit. Come on. There we go. And then again, should be looking something like that. Close up. Rotate back. And for rotating back, you've got the double joints right underneath his head. Make sure it's slide up. Use the ab crunch to help you fit everything in, and then close it up. Okay, this folds and tabs in as such. These come down. You've got the tab and slot going on there. This just comes down and covers. Flip up on the head. Split apart the back of his head, which I like to use a spudger for, just makes it a little bit easier. And then squeeze the head so you can compress the face in. Then these, you can kind of put them wherever you want. I like to put them back here and get them so that the front is flat up and down. It's kind of a your choice thing there. And then finally, get his hands out. And like I said, it's all like MP52. It's all like the MPU. Ultra, Jets. The only difference is those wings. So I can't imagine anybody really needs any help on anything else other than maybe the wings, because that's new. But if you do, there it is, as well as probably a million other videos on YouTube. And that is Dirge in his robot mode. You get his feet set up here. Okay, there he is. And like I said, he looks good. The other two MPU bots are all black details. He is a dark gray, and I think it looks pretty good. Especially the wings. I do like the wing design. So he's got the same messy back that the other guys have. And again, like I said, I like having these on the back, but if you want, you just move them up to the front. Have it like that. So there you go. Got him leaning forward. I think it's just the ankle joints. Yeah, there we go. So let's get a look at him. A good look. So again, as usual, he is pretty much fully painted from what I can tell. There is that screaming face that he's got. His head is on a ball joint like the others. You get a little side to side, little up and down. You don't get too much up, but you do get that much down because of the joint that his head is on. All right. Shoulders, you get a butterfly. You get two outward joints. You've got up to here for the inner joint, but then you've got the ratcheting joint as well. Get you up to there. You've got a very soft ratchet for the 360. Bicep swivel, single jointed elbow, but it gets you up pretty far. You get a wrist in and out as well as a rotate, and then individual thumb and individual four fingers. Fingers are on 2 pins each, thumb is on 2 pins, and I do not understand why Takara went away from these hands to give us what they've been giving us on the MPG Train and Jinrai bots. Huge step backwards from these and what we get on MP36. I will never understand Takara on that. You do get your ab crunch, of course. Doesn't normally unfold everything, but there it is. So for the wings, and this is the weird part, you can see it blocks the hip skirt, and if you try to go up, that's as far out as you can get. One click. So you can do an A stance, that's it. The thing with the wings is you can rotate them. They do tab in there, and they'll rotate a good bit, So you can rotate them back, you can get the hip skirts up, and then you can still go all the way out. Because of the back, this is as far as it'll let me. And then with the leg straight out, that's as far as it'll let me go. But if I bend the knee, then, the thigh will go straight out. And then you do have your rotate at the thigh. So, and because of the wings, I would recommend, if you're going to pose them a lot, you could untab them and have them just barely sitting off center. This way, you can just kind of pose them freely and you don't really have to think about it. You don't have to remember, oh yeah, let me move the wings before I actually use one of his articulation joints. I don't know why they did that. It is what it is. I guess it's just because it's a design thing. Anyway, he does have a single jointed knee, but it's a good, very deep bend. You got your toe rock, ankle rock, toe tilt, up and down. Well, that's kind of the whole foot. So there you go. The basic articulation we expect from the Seeker mold. Just the added thing about the wing being in the way. Now let's see how difficult it is to get him to stand up. There we go. Okay. Man, you're looking weird. Is he leaning forward? I think it's Is it the wing? Or is it his knees? Okay. I'll just leave him like that. There he is. But, you know. Then, of course, the other thing, you can put his blasters on the side of his arm, as you would probably expect. There we go. That one is a little tighter. There we go. Okay, we'll move him back here. And one other thing I did forget about him is he does still have the chest missiles, which are nicely painted in silver. But there he is. That's all I got for him. So, a couple size comparisons. Here he is with Thrust. And, you know, they look awesome together. The whole team does look good together. A little red, white, and blue thing. Just a shame that Ramjet's QC isn't where these two guys are at. But there's that. And then Wheeljack. Tiny little guy compared to a Seeker. But that's also about how it is for, you know, cartoon and for the official Seekers. Oh, and actually he's raised it up, I just noticed. There we go. Even tinier. But, so that's about it for this guy. So, overall, you know, his quality is much better than Ramjet's. Him and Thrust are the two good ones of the set as far as quality goes. Ramjet's good, it's just nice to have him. But overall, this guy's I'm liking this guy a lot. Probably my favorite of the set, just because the colors. Do love blue, and the blue and gold and gray does look great together. So, I mean, he does have a little bit of paint transfer. On the back of the shoulders, it looks like the paint was wet on the gray panels, because you can see right here. That's where it matches up. So it's like the paint was wet, and they assembled them, put them all together. Thankfully, it's on the back and on the inside, so it's not super obvious, but, you know, I know it's there. Now that I've seen it, I can't unsee it, right? So, but other than that, you know, he's a pretty good bot. I would definitely recommend him if you're just waiting on yours to show up. I think you're gonna enjoy him. He's, as long as you don't just get super unlucky and just happen to have a bad one. So, but yeah, there you go. You know, not much going on to this guy. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you next time. See you.